love is one of the things that we all want to experience. We crave love from family, we crave love from friends, we crave love from the person that we want to settle down with, our spouses. And sometimes because of love or the idea of being loved, we ignore a lot of things. In this our generation, we call them red flags. I'm sure you've heard it on social media, by your friends, on TV, everywhere. We talk about red flags. And you wonder, what are these red flags? What are some of the things that are considered red flags when it comes to relationships, love relationships that lead to marriage? Today we have a story on our table that is going to have a conversation around love and lies. When a partner lies to their spouse, what are some of the consequences? What are some of the lies that one cannot come back from? What are some of the lies that can lead to separation in marriage? And we are going to make sure that we find solutions to this problem, because Real Talk is a show that is all about finding solutions to our day-to-day real life stories and challenges. And so I would encourage you to send your story to us via our WhatsApp number or our email address, and we will make sure that we find you the right people to have the right conversation, because here at Real Talk, we do not have the conversations by ourselves. That is me. I find you the right people. I find you the experts in their fields to have the conversation, so that by the end of every episode, you go home with a lesson. You go home with a solid advice. And today, that is what we've done. My name is Evie. I'm the host for the show, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. So because we want this show to be very interactive, I would encourage you to go into our comment section, leave your comments under the comment section, your thoughts, your suggestions, what may be going on in your mind as you listen or watch the show. Today we've done same. We've brought you amazing people to have the conversation, and I'm going to go ahead, introduce them to you, go into our story, then we have the full-fledged conversation. So seated next to me, right next to me, I have in the studio Pastor Theodore Kweku Jenfi. He's also a corporate chaplain and a counselor. So today he's going to be in the capacity of a pastor, of a chaplain, and a counselor, because the story demands for that. Welcome to the studio, Pastor.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm good. How has the week been?
Sure. We've been fine.
Yeah.
Lord is leading. So
Yeah.
keeping up.
Thank you so much for coming.
Right, sure.
Yeah. So next to Pastor is my very beautiful girl, Aso Vera Owusu. Aso, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. She bakes, by the way. She's a baker. She bakes cakes, all the sweet things that you want. So if you're a sweet tooth, Vera is the one that you have to go to. Vera, you'd have to increase your voice a little so that we can hear you. Okay. You are soft-spoken, but you want volume. Okay. Can you project?
Yes.
Do you sing?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then you can project. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go straight into our story so we can have the conversation. It says, it's titled Love or Lies When Marriage Unmasks the Truth. Evie, if I had known this was what marriage would be, I would have waited. I would have asked more questions. I would have paid attention, but I didn't. I met my husband at a church event. He was charming, responsible, and God-fearing, or at least that's what he made me believe. He spoke with so much wisdom. He knew the right scriptures. He made me feel safe. Before we got married, he told me he worked in a reputable company. He had plans to start a business. He wanted a strong woman by his side, one who could support him, build with him, and pray with him. I admired his vision, his leadership. I thought he was a man of integrity. But reality hit on our wedding day. Yes, Evie, the very day we got married. During our reception, my husband seemed uneasy. I thought it was just stress from the wedding. Later that night, he sat me down and dropped the first bombshell. Babe, I lost my job 2 months ago. I was shocked, but I told myself, okay, we can manage. I believed in marriage being about sacrifice. Then the second bombshell came. He had never actually been working in a company. The whole time we were dating, he was jobless. The business ideas he had, just empty talk. He had been borrowing money to maintain an image. Evie, I felt my stomach drop. I had married a man who built his whole identity on lies. So all this counseling were for nothing? Since then, my life has been a struggle. I pay rent, I buy food, I pay school fees for his younger siblings, not even mine. He keeps saying God will provide, yet I am the only one breaking my back to make sure we survive. It's not even about money alone. It's the fact that he lied, that he manipulated me into thinking he was something he wasn't. Now I don't know if I am a good wife for staying or a fool for not walking away. Evie, where do I go from here? Do I keep hoping he will change? Or did I get myself set up for this by rushing into marriage without seeing the signs? Her first line says, if I had known this was marriage, I would have waited. My dear, this is not marriage. This is not marriage for you to have been waited. And so that shouldn't even be the narrative. I am hoping that this doesn't scar you to the point where you see marriage to be something else, because marriage is beautiful when done right.
Right.
Yeah. Pastor, this story is a lot.
I'm trying to look at her wordings, because it means that they are still married here. And number two, it means that the guy lied when he wanted to say the truth.
Okay.
So because after the wedding, when they go home, he told him, I've lost my job for 2 weeks. But he had not been 2 months, but he had not been working all this time.
Yeah.
So he even lied again.
On the lie.
Yes, on the lie.
Yeah.
And the third thing, I also have a challenge that the lady has gone so extra mile of paying the fees of the guy's siblings.
Yeah. Something is all.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know what has transpired that these things are happening.
Yeah.
But that's what I see.
Vera, what's your take on the story? When you just heard it, like, what came to mind?
What came into my mind was, I knew she was manipulated.
Okay.
To be doing whatever that she was doing in the marriage.
Okay.
Because in the first place, you have been lied to. It is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
To be lied to.
Yeah.
And then for you to continue staying in the marriage to the extent of paying the guy's sibling school fees.
Yeah.
That is too much.
That's what we talk about sacrifice.
That is too much.
You know, she mentioned it.
Yes, of
she
course.
mentioned that. Oh, I know marriage is sacrifice,
Yeah.
but I didn't expect it to
be lied to.
That is sacrifice. So when it is too much, that is what we call sacrifice. But
Pastor, we talk about red flags. I'm sure you've heard it.
Of course, yeah.
You've heard red flags. What are these red flags? And when it comes to relationship, what are some of the things? I know you clearly cannot list all, but what are some of the pertinent things you have to look out for to consider? And when it is not going that way, you can say, this is something I have to pause on.
You see, I always tell people that sometimes you have a feeling, you have some strong edge that this one is not good for you. You know, sometimes when you feel that way, you just need to back up, because when it fails, you get, I had that feeling. I said I was going. When you have that feeling and the whole world is telling you go ahead, please don't do it.
Okay.
That you see, sometimes God speaks to us, but sometimes we are so blinded by what we see. Number two, for me, I tell people that a guy who is not working is a no-go area.
Okay.
I will not give my daughter to such a person. You say, oh, God will do it, God will do it. Yes, I know God will do it. But you are not... You don't have a right to get married because you see, when you look at Genesis, when God created Adam, he didn't give him a wife. He gave him a job first.
Yes.
He planted in the garden to get tilt. Then later on, he brought Eve.
Yeah.
So it is job before marriage, job before a woman. So those are things that we need to look at. Seriously.
Yeah. And stop mentioning
God's
name.
And when you another thing that I always say is that, you see, when the person treats you as if you are nothing, you know there are ladies who are afraid of their boyfriends. They are scared of them. They are not even as if they can do. They don't. They listen to them than their parents.
Yeah.
And you want to. You are afraid of such a person, and you want to enter into marriage to that person. When you meet someone who controls your life and who always abuse you verbally, maybe physically has not gotten there, abuse you verbally, whether you have had a vision and angels are coming up from heaven telling you, please, it's a red flag.
Yeah, don't go near it.
Yeah.
Vera, any thoughts on red flags? And then I guess aside that, in your opinion, what are some of the ways somebody can hide something from you? Because she said she didn't know. He said he works in a company. They didn't even mention any, like what company we don't know, what background we don't know. So what are some of the ways you can tell, this person is hiding something from me? Or in general, what are some of the red flags you would caution somebody to avoid in relationships?
Okay. My first point is that Mr. Perfect nature. He's always perfect. When it comes to his communication, his relation with you, there is no day that he's even at fault.
Okay.
He's always perfect with whatever that he does.
Okay.
You should know there is something wrong somewhere, because
human beings are not perfect.
One way or the other, he might wrong you.
Yeah.
He might utter a word that you might not like. He might go somewhere where you think it is not good, that you might, advise him. But then there is none in this case. He always portrays the perfect person you want.
Saying the right
Anything
thing.
you wish to see in a man, he portrays that to you. You should be cautious about it, because it is a red flag to me to be perfect.
I get what you mean.
Yes.
I get what you mean. I think that's people will not usually see that as red flag. They'll say, "Oh, an answered prayer from God." He's so perfect. He says
and when he apologizes, everything.
He does it. No.
He's quick to apologize.
Yes.
There's a problem somewhere.
Yeah.
No, but Pastor,
you're not saying all of them are like that.
Yes. Just be cautious. Because as human beings, you can't even be perfect. We are fallible, so that makes sense. But for the purpose of this conversation, I'll be interchanging pastor, counselor, because of But verifying a partner's claims. When you get married to someone and they say they work here, they work that. Those times. My father did it when I was going to get married. He investigated when I brought my husband home and said, this is the person. He asked me, his background. Okay, tell him to bring his parents the next week. And by the time they got there the next week, he had information that I had no idea how. In my mind, I said, hey, now where did he get? Granted, my husband is from my hometown, so maybe it was easier. But now, because of migration and where we all live, we don't really do those things. Parents are not investigating, making sure that he's who he says he is. But you as the person, before you even bring the person home for your father to do that, what are some of the ways you can verify some of the things your partner is telling you? Oh, I work here. Oh, this is my business. Oh, these are my friends. Oh, I went to school here. Because some people just lie because they can lie. What are some of the ways to verify? You find out that your husband said, oh, he's Kwaboche, then he is not. He went to something LA, which is not bad, but why would you lie about it? He doesn't have classmates. They are doing, nobody knows. Like, how do you verify some of this information to avoid the big relief when you realize that, he was not who he said he was?
You see, the challenge with most of us is that those things are not so necessary. We think that we don't care about those things. The fact that he is able to, when I ask this, she gives me, he gives me, when I do this, he provides, so that is okay. But I always say that, you see, when you are with someone, you need to be very intelligent to ask questions that will give you answers to questions that you cannot ask.
Okay.
So you read between the lines. Now, not just the response of the answer, but look at the body language. And you see, I always tell men that when someone asks you a lot of questions, don't think that he's interrogating you.
Okay.
The person has seen something that he wants to really be sure that this individual I can work with. I always tell people that, why are you asking me a lot of questions? Why are you asking me? What is the meaning of that? You should be happy that she has started asking you questions. It means you are the same level. He now wants to roll with you, right? So he begins to ask you questions. Be ready to answer these questions. And when you begin to ask these questions, look at the language of the body language of the person. Look at how he goes about it. Is he feeling uncomfortable? And sometimes ask questions that he will never think of you asking. Straight to the point. Hit him. Hit him and see the response. Now, another thing you need to look at is that, okay, let's say the guy says he works with multimedia.
Okay.
Now, you just check with multimedia, what are the current trends? Oh, you work with multimedia. Do you know? Maybe do you know this person? Do you know this person? Mention some names.
Yeah.
Just try to find them names. Oh, I met this guy. He says he works with multimedia. Do you know? Just something like that.
Yeah.
You understand? Just to be able to be sure of it.
Right.
But sometimes we you see, naturally we are tempted that when the guy said he went to Accra Academy, he's a blow B. So that is all.
That's
And
why
you
you
have
go to
seen-
Accra Academy.
Oh yes, of course.
Hey, I'm a Mary's girl.
Oh, walk with Akasma.
That's
That is
right.
so the guy says he's a because he has maybe academician or blow B sticker
Yeah.
on the car, so
Yeah.
that is okay. No. We tend, you see, you are talking about your parents. My mom did the same
Okay.
when I was getting married.
Okay.
I never had that idea. He did, and they have their own way of doing their.
I know, right?
They're more than
Yeah.
D&I. They have a way of doing it. And nowadays, young people don't feel that they know. So parents also leave them. But if you allow, they have a way of doing their own checks, and it helps.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, let me tell you, there was a guy. The guy came to the office, the lady, and you see sometimes the ladies also lie for the guys. And that is the problem.
True.
You see, they come and the guy was like, bossy came, he said, okay, I asked them, why the lady, I know the one the lady does. So I asked the guy, what do you do? I'm a businessman. What kind of business? What kind of business? He says, I do import and export.
Hey.
What kind of look at that. What kind of import and export? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And you know that the guy wasn't working,
Oh.
but the lady shielded the guy, and up to today, they are living in the lady's father's house.
Oh. Oh. It's rather unfortunate. Before we go on the break, Vera, I would ask. So clearly, hopefully, you are going to find somebody that you want to settle down with, and it's good that you are a single lady in the studio because you bring the perspective of how you are thinking when marriage is in the picture. Because everybody gets excited, you see. And so, in your opinion, when you meet somebody, he comes to you and he says, "Oh, Vera, I want to get married to you, a very beautiful lady with your dimples. I mean, so beautiful and this and this. I want to." How would you verify some of the information that he will give you? Where he works, the school he went to, his friends, the type of job he does, you know, his social circle, whether he drinks, he smokes, he knows you're a good Christian girl, and you say no if you find out. How would you find out some of these very important things that he may probably hide?
Okay, let me say this. We, the youth of today, we ask the right questions when we are not in love. When we don't love the person, that is when we ask the right questions.
Okay.
Yeah, but then when we meet someone we truly love,
It's like your brain flies out of your head.
that is it. We don't ask the right questions.
Yeah.
But then, as time goes on, we are learning. We need to, you know, take in some habits which are good,
Yeah.
which will help us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should at least know where he works. Once in a while, you should pass by his workplace.
Yeah.
Not telling him.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Present.
came to
Yeah.
say hi to
Yeah.
you. I was
in
just
the
past.
area.
You see, to clarify, sometimes it might be a lie.
Yeah.
He might tell you I'm a bank manager or something. He might be a cleaner.
True.
You see,
True.
so you
Work in
should.
the bank.
I was thinking that
Unannounced.
everybody's a manager.
You see, everybody is a manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yearn to know some of his friends,
Okay.
of whether secondary school, whether tertiary. Yearn to at least know one or two people that you think you can talk to. Oh, maybe my boyfriend went out. I've been trying to call him. He said he's going out with you. Where is he?
They
You
lie.
see,
Brotherly love.
They will lie.
you see, they will lie,
cool.
but then,
Yeah.
you
That is also
He
okay.
was just standing here.
yes, you see,
Yeah.
he even your boyfriend might be sitting beside you,
Yeah.
and then you still make that call, and then the lies will come, and then I can say, girls or ladies are good liars, men are good manipulators.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, men can manipulate you to think or to see what you want to see.
Okay.
Do you get it?
I get you.
So what you want to see is what they prove to you. You want to see that perfect person.
So I'll
She
show
will
you.
give you all the perfect things you want to see. So, you know, don't be too overexcited to see that. You should at least be inquisitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Find things which you think will help you know him better without him not knowing. Yeah, I think that would.
I think you make a solid point, because just yesterday I came across a post on, was it Instagram or TikTok, one of them, and the woman was saying that when you meet somebody, when you meet a man and he wants to have a relationship with you, don't be quick to say, oh, as for me, I like things like that, I do things like this. He'll present that to you. When he comes and he asks, oh, what do you like? Say, oh, when you find what I like, I would know. So that he will show you his true self.
Yes.
And if it's someone you like, you can work with, great. If it is not, oh, this will not work for us on the journey that we are going, and then we move ahead. But when you feed all the information, and like Pastor said, he wants you, he will go ahead and do everything and anything to have you based on the information you've given. I remember when we were on off air when you were saying it, counselor, when you said that some people will intentionally come to church because you say you're an Adventist and you want to marry an Adventist, get baptized. People are not afraid of that. They get baptized, and then
you have told him what you want.
So he'll come and just
he'll do it for you.
Then after marriage, he refuses to be a church member.
Yeah, we do get that most of the time.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, oh, I want an Adventist. He'll tell you, I'll come.
Yeah.
I'll be like, no, don't come for me.
Yeah.
Come for your salvation.
Yeah.
You know, there have been quarrels in conflict in the church, because I brought someone. Yeah. And at the end of the day, he met someone else in the church. So if you want to help someone, lead the person to Christ. Do that.
This better training.
Do that, because when you are coming just because of her,
that's true. That's true. We have to go for a quick break. When we come back, we are going to look at the burden of one-sided marriage. The woman is complaining that she does everything financial in the house and how that is affecting her. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that quick break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, coming your way with Real Talk. I have been having this very interesting conversation with Pastor Counselor Theodore Kweku Gyamfi and Asovera Owusu, who is a baker. She has her own business. Nowadays, we say she's an entrepreneur. Yeah. That is what she is. And we've been having a very interesting conversation of what happens when lies take charge of a relationship. A young man meets a lady, he likes to hear that he works. Right after the marriage, the night of the marriage, he finds out that he has not been working for 2 months. Oh, no, that was not it. He has not been working for the entire time that they've been together. He's been borrowing money to maintain his lifestyle. And now she is burdened with the sole responsibility of providing for the family and even for his family as well, paying school fees of his siblings. And she is at the point of breaking away and separating from her marriage, and she wants to know what to do. So before we went on the break, Counselor was asking the burden of one-sided marriage, a marriage where the woman, most especially, because women usually, when it comes to providing solely, you are not able to manage that weight. And so she's saying she buys food, she clothes, she pays rent, bills, electricity, water, utility bills, and now she's paying school fees for the man's siblings because he's not working, so he can't support his family. What are some of the weight of this burden when a spouse takes on all the financial burden? Is this a situation of love, or is this a situation of, is this what we call sacrifice in love even? Okay,
your last statement, you said when a spouse, not when the wife.
When a spouse.
When a spouse.
Yes.
All right. So I think it's happening. For some men, they are carrying the whole financial load on their head.
Yes.
And it seems to be okay. It seems to be a normal thing. It's accepted in society. It is the duty of man. Men, no, it's okay. But when the table turns, it becomes something else.
Yeah.
Even though wives are supposed to support.
Yes.
But let me take it from her story.
Okay.
And let us look at it from that point.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, there are some things that we are not clear about the story. Now, if the woman is handling financial duties for the home and even paying school fees, is the man handling domestic issues?
Okay.
Maybe the handling of the home, the helping of the kids, if they are kids, or taking care of some rounds for the home.
Yeah.
But you see, if the man is not working today, I don't have a problem with it. But if you're not working today, tomorrow, and the next, I have a problem with it.
Okay. Okay.
Because for a man, you need to move and go and look for a job.
Yeah.
You see, it is not about the kind of job that is bringing a huge amount of money, but it's what you are doing something.
Yeah.
I know there are so many graduates who are not in the field of what they studied.
True.
But because they are not having a job, they are doing some things that can earn them something to be able to have a living. So you see, when the man is comfortable, oh, my wife is so good. Oh, my wife, dear, he's so special. She pays everything. For the fact that I'm not working, no, you can praise your wife. But what makes your wife feel good is that he sees that the husband is pushing.
Yeah.
Not just, I've sent my CV here, I've sent this guy say will connect me, this guy says, that is not enough. Here in our world, you need to push.
Yeah.
We need to see that you are doing something.
True.
Get something done. And you see. And number two, you as a woman, where can you drop? How can you connect your husband to somewhere, to something? Let us all do it. Let's see how. So we help your husband to get a job.
Yeah.
But the man should be ready to see that he's looking for a job.
A job.
I'm thinking that it seems the lady is well to do. He's being paid
Yeah.
very well at his workplace. You see, there are so many challenges that come in when these things happen. One thing is that the woman becomes stressful. Number two, there is no joy in the marriage. Joy not because one party is paying the bills only, but because the other party is also not working and is disturbing the other person.
Yeah.
Because when you move out and you are meet, oh, what do you do? Oh, what does your husband do? No, those questions, when it comes like that, you feel uncomfortable answering those questions. So these are some of the challenges.
Yeah.
It takes away the joy in the home.
True. I agree. And even the example you gave, I mean, being a chaplain that works with corporate institutions, imagine we have these end of year parties and they say bring your spouse and there's a conversation. And like you said, maybe the woman is paid well, she has a good position and her husband can't. And the conversation is awkward because what does he do? And it is left hanging. So even that alone can be an emotional form of trauma.
Sometimes they even have to lie.
Yes, to cover the shame and
the
all
consultant.
that.
And that is a challenge, you see. Sorry about that, but that's a challenge. Sometimes, you know, someone is ready to help. And there was a guy that I knew. You are not working. We know that you have been laid off. The guy say, I'm consulting. But there's someone who could have helped you.
Yes.
And see, this ego about men is a problem.
So now they'll leave you because you say you are working.
Yes.
Consulting.
But Vera, remember when Counselor was talking, he mentioned that when a man is taking care of the home, it's okay, it seems okay. But immediately a woman takes over, then everybody must know that there's trouble in the house. But that brings my mind to cultural expectations and how it affects men and women when they are struggling financially. So then I guess my question to you is, how do cultural expectations affect how men and women handle financial struggles in our society? A man will carry the burden. There are so many men whose wives are not working several years. And it's okay, they will manage it, they'll carry. But a man cannot work for several years and it will be okay because his wife cannot, even if she can, society will not allow him to be a man. Is it a cultural thing? Was it ordained by God? Because clearly from the beginning, Genesis, they gave man work. So he came with a purpose and the woman came to support. Is that why it is the way it is? Or you think we are being unfair to the men?
Oh, I'm not married, so I don't.
Look at what she has done.
Yes, I'm not married. But then we live with our parents. We've seen couples leave. Yeah. And then you should not let the expectation of the society affect your decision and then how you live your life. Yes. If you think you can support or even take up all the responsibility whilst your husband is even looking for a job, it is fine. Don't let the expectation of the society to tell you you are supposed to support your husband, so you need to leave all those responsibilities. So if you think you can do it, you should go ahead. You shouldn't let the opinions of the society affect what you decide to do in your marriage.
Yeah, because there are situations where a woman has the better paying job in the marriage, and there was a need for somebody to stay home and manage the home with the children, because we couldn't get nannies, or we don't want them in our house, or daycare, and so there was a need for one partner to stay home. And I'm sure, counselor, you've come across situations where a couple will come and the woman is, I make 5 times more than him, but because of society he wants me to quit the job and we'll be living on his less paying money, when it makes sense financially for him to leave his job so that we will be living on my money. Does that, in your opinion, I'm so glad that you are in the capacity to advise as a counselor and a pastor as well, because they'll use the Bible too to say a man has to do this, a woman. When it makes financially, it makes sense that the man would have to stay home.
You see, when it comes to these issues, we have challenges. You know, in Africa, we married the family. The extended family have much influence on the nuclear family. Now, the man decides to leave the job and come and take care of the home. He's in trouble. From the mother and even the mother-in-law.
Yes, that's true.
Even their own mother-in-law will also have issues with it. And it becomes a challenge.
Yeah.
And the men I see with their ego, they will never leave their job. Because sometimes women also begin to treat their husbands some way when they are in charge of the money. Not all women.
Yeah.
Not all women,
So
some women.
yeah.
You see, with my job as a corporate, I met someone, he said he wanted to introduce me to a lady.
Okay.
And the lady said she's bored now. I said, why is she bored? You know, the husband is very rich, very, very rich, well-to-do, wealthy.
Okay.
So when they go married, he says, no, you don't need to work. Stay at home, take care of the kids. If you like, I'll pay you everything.
Okay.
So that's what the lady was doing. Now, the person wanted to introduce me to the friend to the lady. And the lady sometimes sits at home, gets bored, come to the office of my friend who is in that office, come and talk and talk and talk and chat and go back home. So he doesn't know what he should do. He's feeling bored and nothing.
Yeah.
Now, what happened is that I was telling them that it is better you begin to do something. Even if your husband can open fleets of stores. You are not the one sitting in the store, but you go and check every day. One is maybe mother care, one is boutique, one is maybe drinks or something. You go and check, then you go home. It just keeps you busy.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You are doing something.
Yeah.
In 21st century, this artificial intelligence period, this stage.
Yeah.
Now, there are works that you can do from home. Someone can be home and still working. Someone can spend about 6 months home but they're still working.
Yeah.
For me, I always say that, you know, ladies are always at the negative side. For me, I always tell people that no, don't be a housewife. Now let me go back and say this. When a couple decide that, okay, one should be a housewife, that doesn't mean that the other person is the only person who's working. In fact, being a housewife is a serious job.
Yes.
A serious business.
Yeah.
That when you are paying for it, it's a huge amount.
Yeah.
So let us not make it seem as if the one who decides to sacrifice and stay at home and take care of the home is not working.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is more work at home. You sit at one office and sit behind the computer. When it's break, you go eat and come. Someone is a housewife. Move from bedroom to hall to kitchen to the compound of the house to so many things. So let us not see it that way when they decide to do that. Now, for me, I've told people that, you see, one thing is that you can stay at home for a period, just for a period, or you can do a less, but you need to do something. Because at a point, you might, if you don't take care, you might even be asking some little thing from your husband, which you are not supposed to ask. And at the end of the day, you realize that your kind of friends become the market women. Because that's where you go all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
And you are cut off from the corporate world.
Yes.
So even when you dress and move out, it becomes something else.
Yeah.
If you don't take it.
Yeah.
So let us be careful with these things. For me, that's what I think.
I agree, Counselor. It makes a lot of sense. Now let's talk about deception and forgiveness. Is there ever a lie that is too big to forgive? I know your pastor training is saying I know your background. It's so interesting that you have a background that is pastoral, and then you also have a background that is psychological as well.
Yeah.
So it's like it's conflicting, isn't it? But is there a lie that is too big to forgive?
Right. So now, forgiveness is not a feel-good situation. Let us know.
Okay.
It is wrong. That is why we are forgiving you. Let us not give reasons for it. Let us know that it is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you see, let me bring this to your notice. This one, let me go to the Bible side.
Okay.
So, with us and God, who sinned?
We
Us.
sin.
But who came to who?
He came.
Yeah.
You see how it is?
Yeah.
Now, when I said for better, for worse, do you know what I was saying? It was for the worse. Some people say for better, but it is wrong.
No.
I hear nowadays some charismans say for better. No.
Yeah. Some even say for richer, for richer.
It wasn't
Like,
like that.
they leave you where you are
They don't
poor.
understand. No, they don't understand the concept.
Yeah.
They don't understand the concept. That's why they say those things. See, forgiveness. You need to forgive your spouse at all times. Even when he extramarital affair, you still need to forgive. But the point is that forgiving is one thing, and the action that we take is another thing.
Okay.
So let me use this situation. Okay. Now, this lady has forgiven the husband. Now, her problem is not what the husband did. Her problem is he never anticipates this kind of marriage. This is not what he wanted.
Yeah.
So forgiveness is important. The best person, that shows that you mean what you told me, that you love me.
True.
Because if you love me, you are ready to accept my tantrums. But one thing is that the fear of it is that next time when you are talking to me and telling me something, I'm just thinking, is she or is he saying the right thing, or he's lying again? Because you see that at the wedding night, he says, let me tell you the truth. But he still lies.
Yeah, he did.
So
did.
so the lady finds herself in a difficult place when you sit there and says, I have seen this, and this is my friend, I was talking to you, he says you help me this. He's looking at you. He says, should I believe what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because let us be mindful these things. Trust when it's broken is very difficult. When we break a mug right now and you want to put it back, you see the lines.
You will.
To still be there.
You will. That's a lot of words for you to think on when you are planning that lie. Because once it's spoken, it can never be taken back. Vera, your opinion on, in your opinion,
Okay.
is this a lie too big to forgive? Is in your mind, hey, you said you work 2 months, and now you realize that you've not been working at all. And also, with this kind of lie, will she be bad to say, you know what, I'm packing my bags and going because you've lied to me?
Okay. In my opinion, not in a pastoral opinion.
That's why
it's
you're
not a
saying
pastor's
your
In my opinion,
No, let's look at it.
you can forgive, but you are no more staying in a marriage.
Okay.
You can forgive the man. You lied to me. You broke my heart. The trust is no more there. I can decide to leave. But then I have forgiven you. It doesn't mean I'm still staying with you. Do you get it?
I'm trying to.
Yes, I can forgive you.
Yeah.
But then the action later is to leave.
Yeah.
I'm not staying with you anymore. Because the kind of hatred I will have in me if I'm still living with you, maybe you can't bear that pain. I might even wish to even hurt you in one way or the other. Yeah, so I will, in my opinion, I will leave.
Yeah, yeah.
I can forgive the man and will walk away from the marriage.
From the marriage. Counselor, if you hear something like this at a session, what would you say to the woman and then the man listening to you? They've come with a problem.
All right, so, okay, it's good that you have said both of them, because sometimes when you listen to one side, it becomes a challenge.
Yes.
Now, what the individual has done, will it affect the marriage successfully, progressing? Will it affect? That is the question.
Okay.
Now, these are things that are not violent for me. That's what I say.
Okay.
Because when violence is introduced in marriage, it is something that you cannot sustain. You need to give it what we call partial separation.
Okay.
But there is no violence, even though there's emotional challenge here, which is for a period. Now, this thing can be repaired. How can it be repaired? This guy getting a job.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
This guy getting a job and bouncing back to what you said you're going to be. There might, you see, I was just looking at it. There might even be debt. Because the guy was going
To maintain
that.
so at the end of the day, he has to pay. There might be debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this situation is not a very bad situation that
Okay.
cannot be saved or rescued.
Okay.
No. He said he said as a counsel. That's what I'm talking.
yes.
If I come to the pastor's side, it will be different. So let me just handle it like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a situation. The repairs is that this guy have to prove himself.
Okay.
This guy has to prove himself. Let's say he's a first degree holder. He can find something to do.
Yes.
He's a man. So prove yourself so that you don't lose your marriage. That's the point.
Yeah, because the consequences are you can't.
Now, when it comes to the other side, yeah.
It's like, did I put you in a corner?
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the other side, you see, if you are a Christian, the only thing that allows separation, divorce, is what? Adultery.
Yeah.
Even that one, if you really love the person,
You forgive.
you forgive this thing.
The Bible says.
Those about 70% of those who leave because of adultery are people who are looking for a chance to leave already. So when this one came, to go. But you see, from the lady's point, you said when he met him, they didn't spend more time in getting married. I don't know if you come there. I should go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I want
Go
you
ahead.
to go ahead.
Now, you see, I've come to believe that we are the cause of all these problems. When I say we, counselors, pastors, family, church members, all of us, we are the cause of all this, and even culture.
Yeah.
Now, you see, we tend to believe that being a single person is a problem.
Yeah.
You need to be a married person to live to be a better person. So many people don't enjoy their single life.
Yes.
They have been told that the only way you can enjoy your life is when you get married. So they go into marriage thinking that is where I will enjoy it. Like this lady.
Yeah.
So we don't allow them. So even in the church, in society, when you're not married, we look at you in a way.
Yeah. We do.
And there are so many ladies who are walking around, especially the ladies who are walking around, who are disturbed.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't have any joy in their heart.
Yeah.
Now, when we are talking, even in church, we are talking about people who, group of you, we're talking about married people, and we feel that those who are married, and you are not married, then you have a problem.
Yeah.
Problem as in that you are too selective, or it is spiritual marriage.
Oh God.
So someone comes to your church and says, God loves me more than any other person. He has given me a spouse. So the person sitting there who has not gotten a spouse, God does not love you. You see those statements in church? And people are disturbed. We make it seem as if, even pastor, we make it seem as if when you are not married is a problem. So come, all those who are single, come, let us pray for you. Then I get married.
Oh, say this again.
How?
So you see the problem? Now, we push them into marriage. Because they don't enjoy. You see, one thing is that when you enjoy your single life, and you realize that joy and happiness come from your own doing and from God, and you don't think that there's a man or there's a woman that brings marriage. When you get married, you realize that it is from your joy doesn't come from another. So your spouse is not even doing. Then you are happy.
Yeah, you're complete.
So don't rush people into marriage. When we do that, when we look at this story, it is very clear. For the lady to enter, it means that he has been having pressure. He wants to get married.
Yeah.
Pressure from family, from friends. And you know, when your friends get married, they talk and they do like this. Make you feel like, But you see, they will never tell you that they are having challenges in their marriage. They make you see that you who is not married, you have issues.
Yeah.
So let us be mindful. It was too a short time. I've gotten someone. And you see, sometimes when they hit 35, 40, what can come. We accept anything because they are tired of the church, they are tired of society, they are tired of family, all these things. And so, friends, let us stop these things. Being a single is also equally wonderful and important and blessed by God than they say, like marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage is not better than being single, and single is not better than being married. They are all, God can bless. People always say that, okay, when you marry, you have favor.
We can talk.
We think when you marry, so when I'm single, I can't have favor. But there are so many single people who did great things in society.
Yeah.
So my lady, my gentleman who is watching, please, if you are singing, don't look down upon yourself. Live your life. Enjoy your life. You know, the saddest part is that if you have mixed songs for as if single life, they say it was single like clearly Gakin King cried and all this. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that?
That's on that funny note, we'll have to go for a break. I think Counselor has said it all. When we come back, we're going to take our final set of questions, which has to do with what the churches and family can do to ensure that we do not find ourselves in this situation. We'll be right back. This is Real Talk. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back from that quick break. If you just joined us, you have missed a lot. We are at the last leg of the conversation, and it's been an interesting, and most importantly, it has been very, very educative. And I'm glad we are having this conversation for the young ones out there, and even for those of us that are in marriages, because clearly there's a lot that we don't know. And most of us are married, but doing it very wrongly. And so we should learn and then make marriages better, especially Christian marriages better, because it needs to be attractive for the young ones to want to enter. So before we went on the break, we clearly had some very interesting conversation, and Counselor came in to talk about rushing into marriage and the dangers of that, and how as a society, we can do better, as a church, we can do better. And so on that note, if you have any question on this story, any question for Counselor, you can send it to us on 0559 680066, and he will make sure he gets back to you. So Vera, I'm going to come to you. Counselor has spoken very at length with the point on rushing and going into marriage. He clearly made it obvious that we are rushing because society is giving us pressure. We think we are not fulfilled as single people. Why do we ignore these signs? Is it because of what Pastor said? And finally, what should churches and families do to ensure that young people enter into marriage for the right reasons and know the reasons why they are entering, not based on some illusions that is better when you are married and the favor of God is on you and the blessings will come when you are married? What's your take on that?
Okay, with my take, I think the society has a lot to do when it comes to relationship and then marriage. It seems they have this this notion that if you are not married, you don't even have a place to even stand in the society. When we call for people to come and then give their opinions, we look at those married because we think they are sensible enough to, you know, give the best opinion because they are matured.
Yeah.
But then other single people are even more matured than some who are even married.
An unwise person is an unwise person, regardless of whether they are married or single.
That is it.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be put on single people, that you need to get married to get this kind of, you know, stand in the society.
Yeah.
So the society shouldn't put pressure on the youth, especially that you are aging, you are growing, you need to, you know, be married, have kids. If not, a time will come you won't be able to give birth again. Mostly that is what they do tell the ladies, the women, that a time will come you won't be able to give birth, so you need to get married and then give birth, because you can't give birth without being married too.
Yes.
That is also another problem.
Yes.
You know, especially our parents, they usually tell the females, give me grandchildren before I die. The lady is not ready to be married. She wants to, you know herself very well before getting into marriage. So the society should
relax.
Yeah,
they should find somewhere and sit.
And allow the youth to enjoy their singleness.
Yeah.
And then get matured enough to enter into marriage.
Yes. Counselor, final words on what churches and families can do to ensure that young people are entering marriage with the right idea and not illusions. And then if you have any final words for the youth out there, you can give them your message.
Okay. So, you see, the church is a place that we can have a lot of people, a lot of young people. On Saturdays, on Sabbath, and on Sundays, people flown to the church.
Yeah.
And that is where you can really help them build a life for themselves. You see, culture-wise, we have made the church, and even let me start from my own colleagues as ministers. You see, let us not make marriage seems to be the ultimate of everything. When I get married, that is it. Because you see, life is just disturbing. Because when you finish university, you have to start working, you have to get married. When you get married, you have to give birth. When you give birth, you have to, first one, second one, you have to give birth. When you give all boys, you have a problem. When you give all girls, you have a problem. And a whole, so for pressure, we are the people who bring pressure on the young people. So what I'll say to our ministers is that let us teach young people in our churches. Let the society portray things on TV that doesn't seem as if when you are single, even the movies that we watch, let us create it in a way as if that those who are not married are sick or something like that. Let us change our worldview on these things. And please, let us not seem as if you are not married, there is a problem with you. Coming back to the church. Church, family, please, when your daughter, your son is not married, please be patient with them. Don't let them think that they are staying under your roof. And you see, that is where you have to be tactful when you are parenting adults. You have to be very tactful. When the person is not married and is still staying under your roof, and maybe you think that you have gotten to a marriage state, let us be mindful. Let us show love to them. Let us not mix words. That makes them feel that where they are in life, they are useless until they get to another point. Because if we do that, we will be causing a lot of divorce in the near future. And today what is happening is because we don't prepare people into marriage. We push them without the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and but the church-wide are pushing people into marriage when we have not prepared them. And she said something. Let me know myself. You might not know everything, but it's good to let the person know yourself before he enters.
Yeah.
You know the right person.
Yeah.
My final words, let me say this. You see, this lady did something that is very important. I believe in sacrifice, and he is doing something that marriage is about sacrifice, and he's playing a very important part for here. The only thing is that he should sit down with the husband, talk and see how the husband can get a job, and push him. And the husband should be ready to be helped, because in the first place you have lied.
Yeah.
So humble yourself. Let us help you.
Yeah.
Young people, in our society, it's not good to be pushed to get married. But in the same way, sometimes if you are not encouraged, you also live at a stage that might not be. Society where there are positions that whatever you do, it will go for people who are married.
True.
So singleness is good. While you live your single life, please don't let it extend that stage. Enjoy it, but don't over-enjoy it that you lose other things too. So while you are not being forced, remember that you continue to be encouraged. So remember that if you want to get married, plan your life. Don't rush, but don't also relax.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Don't rush, but also do not relax. A big thank you to Pastor Counselor Theodore Kweku Jenfi and Miss Asovera Owusu. Thank you so much for coming.
Sure.
Vera, I'm sure you've learned something so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you share it with your friends as well.
Okay, I
Yes.
will.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. It's
Right,
been a
sure.
very educational show. To all our listeners and our audience who tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, it's a joy to come into your homes to share with you an episode where we can all learn from, where we can all be inspired. And to the young woman that sent in her story, it's rather unfortunate that you started your marriage off lies. But as has been said in the studio, it can be fixed. It can be fixed. If your husband has other qualities that are admirable, work on getting him the job. Because just the fact that he doesn't have a job, he can be a great support to you emotionally, helps you around the house, you know. So do not concentrate so much on this one flaw, but help him to get a job. And the husband, be willing to find yourself a job. Get up, move, find something. You can't live your life borrowing money from people. You can't live your life just on the salary of your wife. Anything can happen that you may need support for yourself and even for your family. What about your future? Open up to your wife. Let her know your struggles. Let her know what is going through, and she may be able to help you. Open up to friends. Do not be living a fake life to show that, oh, you are living the best of life when you know that you do not have the means to support it. Borrowing money is not good. The debts will increase. They will come for their money. Have you heard of these companies that come to your house at dawn to throw stones on your roofing if you haven't paid them? That is very embarrassing. That is not a life you want to live. Debt is not something that you must accumulate. It's wealth that you should accumulate. And so find a job, look for something to do. If you're waiting for a certain position, a certain blue-collar job or white-collar job, any type of job that you're looking for that you haven't found, and so because you won't work, please get up, find a job. When you start providing for your family, it comes with so much fulfillment. For a man, it is just what you need to be respected in society. And so I think you should go ahead and do that. And I'm sure everything will be fine. For the woman, I'm praying for strength for you. Continue to hold your family together. And if the burden of providing is too much, let him know that you cannot support his siblings anymore, so that the money will go towards the nuclear family. Because she can't be doing for you, for your family, and for your extended family as well. That is just too much. So I'm sure that after this conversation, you've heard it all, and I'm sure you are motivated to continue with this marriage, both the man and the woman, and to do right by each other. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back same time next week with another exciting episode of Real Talk here at the studios of Hope TV Ghana. But until then, please continue to enjoy the rest of the content on Hope TV Ghana, and we will be back same time next week. Do have yourselves a lovely evening.